It's official, the Houston Astros might rebuild and trade away an Astros legend. Every single year since 2017, the Astros have been in the mix to win the World Series. They won it in 2017 and in 2022. From top to bottom, they completely built that team from scratch. Compared to the rest of the teams in this league, the Astros have been arguably the best at developing players. Since 2015, they've had 3 rookies win Rookie of the Year. Being able to build a team out of draft picks is not something that everyone can do. Look at the Mets, for example. I mean, the Mets completely ditched the idea of prospects and they instead just went all in on free agency. They attempted it and it failed very, very badly, and they're now rebuilding. But to be able to put together a team like the Astros have, you have to be able to extend players and spend money. Up until 2023, that is exactly what they've been able to do. They had a record of 90-72, they won the division, and nearly made it back to the World Series. A team like that has so much young talent should be good for a long time, at least you'd think. Until you realize that the Astros are actually considering a rebuild right now. Here's the deal, I mean, the Astros have the worst farm system in baseball, of course ranked at number 30. They don't have a prospect that seems super legit, and sure, that might be a problem right now. They have 2 superstars with expiring contracts very, very soon, and of course remember, when their shortstop Carlos Correa left the Astros, they had a prospect to come in and take his place immediately, of course with Jeremy Pena. That right there shows you that having a good farm system can be big, especially for a team like the Astros. But after the 2024 MLB season, the Astros have 2 franchise players set to leave. Those players are Jose Altuve and Alex Bregman. Altuve won the MVP in 2017, and he's just irreplaceable. There is no other Jose Altuve. Alex Bregman, on the other hand, he's also been really, really good. I mean, his glove is magical, and so is the offense. These are 2 guys that the Astros fans consider Astros for life, but recently, we've actually gotten some not so great news regarding this situation. There's actually a chance that Alex Bregman will not be in Houston for 2024. The biggest thing, of course, to remember is that the Astros are really good, but with the diminishing farm system, would an Alex Bregman trade be quite enough to fix their farm system? Well, let's look at a few different things. First of all, third base is a market where you might just see teams overpay for a guy like Bregman. In free agency, the best option is Matt Chapman, but looking past Chapman, there really is not a whole lot of third basemen available. This could mean that the Yankees call the Astros and offer a few prospects, or even the Cubs. Let's say the Cubs swoop in and they're like, hey, we got a really good farm system, and we know that you guys want to go ahead and build yours. Well, here you go, give me Bregman, and I'll go ahead and give you guys a few prospects. But really, no matter how you look at this would be a bad move for the Houston Astros. First of all, I mean, he's expensive in 2024, he's likely only a 1-year rental, and he has a $28 million salary next season. This automatically ticks off at least some trade value. The Astros would no doubt, of course, be lowballed for this reason alone, and they have got to show that they are Rick Harrison from Pawn Stars in this.
And basically what I can do is 250.
Trading Bregman means that you are throwing in the towel and you're just saying, all right, 2024, bye. But I just think that there's just way too much talent to even be thinking about saying, hey, it's only 1 season of losing. No, there's just no chance that they can look at it like that. It would just be a complete failure from the Houston Astros front office. But what about Jose Altuve? What is the deal with Altuve? Obviously, he's had a great career, and he's going to be a pretty penny whenever it comes to extension time. I think it's fair to say that you do not trade Jose Altuve, and instead you extend him and Bregman. Because let's be real, I mean, do you really think that the prospects that they get back can replace the talent that they lost? I just don't really see much of a world where it could make sense for the Astros. Not only did they have the number 5 offense in baseball last year, but they also had the 8th best pitching staff in the league. One of the biggest issues for the Houston Astros was the injuries, and if they manage to stay healthy next year, God only knows what they will be able to do. In free agency, I don't think that the Astros are just going to stay quiet, you know? They will end up signing at least, I think, 2 notable players, and those are likely going to end up being bullpen pitchers. Another piece of their bullpen is one of the few things that they are missing. From top to bottom, they have a great roster, so there is not really a whole lot that they can do other than extend guys like Altuve and Bregman. So far, they're in a really nice place with young players. I mean, the World Series MVP of 2022, Jeremy Pena, is under team control until 2028. They also have one of the most clutch players in the league with Yordan Alvarez. He's under contract until 2028. Winning has got to be the name of the game in 2024 for Houston, but if it isn't, an Alex Bregman trade could be imminent for all we know. But I want you to ask yourself right now, How many third basemen can hit and defend in this league? Because usually they're only good at one or the other, and that's especially the case right now. Giving up on Alex Bregman is giving up on 2024. What other third baseman are you going to be able to bring in who will be as good as him? That's really the big question that I think you need to go ahead and ask yourself right now. There is no better option than him. And as good as they were last year with all the pitching injuries, you got to imagine, what if they were healthy next year? How good could they actually be? And that's what I hope the Astros end up considering, and I hope they don't throw in no towel. And this is one of the biggest things. I do not think that the Astros should rebuild because of the situation that they're in their division. The AL West, of course, it was very, very competitive until the very last game last season. The Astros, the Rangers, and the Mariners all fought for first place. In the end, the Astros won it. Of course, the Rangers won the World Series, but, still second place in the AL West. And then the Mariners got third. Why in the world would you end up rebuilding after you won the division last year? The Mariners are, of course, already showing signs that they will not be very competitive next year. I mean, shit, the Mariners traded their third baseman for practically nothing. I do not think it would be smart for that alone. The Angels are only going to be getting worse, of course. No Shohei Ohtani. And you know what? I think that they might end up making a few trades themselves, and they might even get worse. And then, you have the Athletics. They won't be worse than they were last year, but they will still be very, very bad. The Athletics are going to be the Athletics. So why rebuild with that? Another big thing to, of course, consider when regarding Bregman is the fact that he's a lot younger than, let's say, even Jose Altuve. Altuve's 33 years old. If they didn't extend him, it would surely suck, but at the same time, he's 33. Whereas Alex Bregman is only 29 years old. A 29-year-old has a lot more prime years left in him, and I think that's what they got to go ahead and look at. He's only 29. Why in the world would you pass up those prime years for just a few prospects? And again, as I already said, they're really, really good, so they won't be spending a ton of money in free agency outside of a few bullpen arms, but the starting rotation could use a little bit more. I know that many fans are at least hoping that they, bring in some sort of a top 3 guy in the rotation, and I do think that there is room to go ahead and do that, but there is one big concern, and that, of course, is the payroll. I've seen a few rumors and reports suggesting that Tyler Glasnow could be going to the Astros, and I disagree with that wholeheartedly. I think he's way too expensive, but I do think that there is another guy that the Astros could be looking for right now. That player is Dylan Cease. Now, the only issue with Dylan Cease, of course, is the fact that he would take a lot to trade for, right? The Astros don't have a whole lot to trade. And that's really the thing I think would hurt the Astros, is what do they have to trade? Dylan Cease would be a fantastic addition. He's only 27 years old. He's really cheap, and he's under team control. This is a move to me that I would absolutely do, but you just got to ask yourself, what are they actually going to trade? Truth be told, I think in the next few weeks, we will be figuring out exactly what the Astros are doing, but right now we got a little bit of time. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. Subscribe if you haven't already. Let me know what you guys think about these potential trades, and peace out.